Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, then welcome. My name is Anna, and today we are going to be talking about 10 things that they don't tell you about pregnancy. Okay, so before we get into the video, I want to know in the comments down below, what is one thing that you didn't know about pregnancy until you got pregnant yourself or your partner did? Or if you are not yet pregnant and you're just doing a little bit of research, go through this list and tell me in the comments down below if you knew any of these things. So when I was writing down all the things that I didn't know about pregnancy before I got pregnant myself, I actually came up with a list of like 30 things. So if you guys are interested in seeing a part 2 or even a part 3 of this video, also tell me in the comments below. Okay, let's get started. Number 1 is the crazy dreams. Pregnancy dreams is a real thing. I don't know exactly why it happens, but it is crazy. I had it with both of my pregnancies. I have talked to many other women who have had them as well. A lot of them are actually like sexual dreams and like really weird, crazy sexual dreams. Very lucid, intense dreams. Number 2 is a beautiful, amazing, and also excruciating hormone called Relaxin. Your body releases the hormone Relaxin throughout your pregnancy, but usually a lot more towards the end of your pregnancy. And this hormone basically makes your joints a little bit more flexible because, of course, your body is preparing to push a baby out. What they don't tell you about this amazing hormone is that it doesn't just only loosen the joints in your pelvic area, but it loosens your joints everywhere. And so you actually have a higher risk of injury while you're pregnant. This was definitely the case for me. I dislocated my shoulder with both pregnancies. I also dislocated my shoulder during labor with my second baby, and I dislocated my shoulder, same shoulder, 1 week postpartum with my second baby, all because that hormone was just lingering. Another thing they don't tell you about that hormone is that it can be released in your body sometimes, like it was in my case. It was released really early in my pregnancy, and that causes your body to be just really unstable, especially your hips, pelvic area, and all of that surrounding there. If it starts getting too flexible, then you are just very unstable and carrying a lot of weight, which causes a lot of pain. I had this with both of my pregnancies, a lot worse with my first. During my second, I kind of thought that it would be coming, so I did a lot of physical therapy, which helped a lot with that. But yeah, it just made it so that I couldn't sleep much at all for the last like 3 months of my pregnancy. Both of my pregnancies, it's just excruciating. It makes it so that my hips and my pelvic area were constantly dislocating, and it just, it hurt so bad. Number 3 is the boob pain. Oh my gosh, no one warned me about how bad this could really be. I kind of expected for it to be a little bit sore, since you know that they're growing and they're preparing for milk production. And I actually thought that this would be a lot worse towards the end of my pregnancy, when your glands actually are preparing to produce milk. But it wasn't. It was probably the first like 22 weeks of my pregnancy, my first pregnancy. My breasts were so tender. My nipples were tender. The whole thing was tender. Wearing a shirt was tender. Not wearing a bra hurt. Wearing a bra hurt. The shower, the water hitting them hurt. Oh my gosh, it was intense. No one had prepared me for how bad that was. And I thought there was something wrong with me, but of course I did a little bit of research. It's totally normal. It can happen. It doesn't happen to everybody, but it can. And if it's happening to you, I'm so sorry. It hurts so bad. Number 4 is other random pain that you feel during pregnancy. Now, there is some pain that is very common and normal, and there is obviously some pain that isn't. If you are feeling any pain at all whatsoever, definitely contact your healthcare provider. I am not a doctor. I am just telling you what I experienced and what I have done research on. So do your own research, and just to be safe, call your provider if you have any pain. But going back to the point, round ligament pain is something that most women do experience, usually in the first and second trimester, right when your belly is actually starting to show, your belly is growing, everything is expanding, and you do feel stretching pains in your belly. That is a very common pain. It's not horrible. It's just something that you feel kind of like when you go running and you get like a little bit of a side cramp, except you don't really feel it on your side. It's more of like your lower abdomen. Similar to that, that is a normal pain during pregnancy. Another normal pain during pregnancy is low back pain, which of course you're starting to carry a lot more weight and your hormones are changing, so there's just a lot going on in your body, which causes pain, and in your hips and in your back, and of course sometimes Braxton Hicks contractions can be painful. So those are some of the random other pains, at least that I experienced, that I know were pretty common and normal, at least for me. But again, do your research, contact your provider if you're feeling any pain at all. Number 5, your foot can actually change in size, and not the way you think. You think that maybe it's a swelling thing, that your feet would get wider, and yes, that does happen to some women, but one thing that can happen during pregnancy is that your foot can actually grow in length. Sometimes half or even a full size bigger. Crazy, right? Number 6 is hair changes. Now, I experienced this in a crazy variety of ways throughout my whole body. Of course, I experienced hair changes on my actual head, but then I also had all sorts of hair changes throughout my whole body. On my head, I actually had more shinier, more beautiful hair. I actually had the pregnancy glow of my hair, if you could call it that. But then I also experienced hair changes throughout my whole body. I grew hair on my belly, which is really crazy, especially as it's getting bigger. You just like see it getting hairier and hairier. My armpit hair, it almost just grew twice as fast. I don't know why that happens. Hormones, I guess. But I swear I had to like shave like twice a day. It's crazy. And then my leg hair was the complete opposite. My leg hair just grew so slow. I shaved maybe 3 times the whole time through my pregnancy and didn't even need to shave more than that. It was awesome, especially because it's so hard to reach down there. I was so thankful that that happened to me with both pregnancies. Number 7 is boob changes. Now, I did talk about boob pain before, but now we're going to talk about the physical changes that your boobs go through. So of course they're growing, so the shape of them changes, but then also the colors and the textures of it completely change. Your nipples get really, really dark. Now this happens so that the nipples are easier to find for when the baby is born, which I think is really cute. Your body just makes it easier for your baby to actually find their food. I think that's awesome. Oh, baby woke up. This guy decided to join us now. Say hi. So another change that your boobs goes through is veins. Now, I don't know exactly why this happens, but you get like full-on road maps of veins on your boobs. Crazy, but totally normal. Now, I can't do the numbers with my hands anymore, but number 8 is shortness of breath. Of course, we all know that as you get bigger, all of your organs start getting pushed up to like basically your lungs, and so it is harder to breathe. But what they don't tell you is that you actually have shortness of breath right from the beginning of your pregnancy. I believe this is due to hormonal changes, but you say maybe like 5-10 words and you're like, oh, give me a second. Or you walk just a few steps and you're like, that's usually a pretty common first symptom of pregnancy as well. And so you can actually feel it that early before you really even get a positive pregnancy test. I mean, I know that happened for me. That was definitely one of the ways that I suspected that I was pregnant, is that I was losing my breath all the time. Number 9 is facial changes. Now, I know that it's pretty common to gain weight during pregnancy. Ow, dude. So of course your face can look different because of your weight gain, but one of the things that they don't tell you is that your facial features can actually change. Your nose can change in shape and grow, and your face can look totally different while you're pregnant. Number 10 is actually, it's less of a symptom and more of just something funny that happens during pregnancy, and that is that you can actually forget that you're pregnant at times, even when you are big. This happened to me quite a few times where I just forgot that I was as big as I was and try to fit into smaller spaces that I obviously couldn't fit into. And then sometimes you just, have certain specific moments when you're like, look down and you're like, oh my God, that's right, I'm pregnant. And it is actually pretty common. I've asked other moms about this, and it's just something funny that happens, that even though you are big and you are feeling pains and you are feeling all these other symptoms, you can't actually forget that you're pregnant. Really? And try to get yourself into smaller spaces that you can't fit into, or reach for things that you can't reach for. Anyways, that's everything I had for you guys today. As always, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Can you give a thumbs up? Give this video a thumbs up. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and hit the little bell to be notified when we post next, and we will see you next time.